Good afternoon and welcome to my video today. I have with me here Ross from Bankruptcy Advisory Centre.
Afternoon.
So good afternoon, good morning, bit of both, depends what time you're watching. So I really wanted to talk to you today about what you can and can't claim when it comes to bankruptcy. You know, bankruptcy is quite a scary word and a lot of people, you know, see red when they think of the word bankruptcy. So can you tell me what you can and can't claim when it comes to bankruptcy?
Bankruptcy covers unsecured debt as a general term. From that, you'll have your credit cards, personal loans, utility bills, medical bills, virtually any unsecured debt you can claim.
Yeah.
The biggest exceptions to that are court fines and penalties and proceeds of crime type scenarios, and also certain government benefits such as an overpayment of Centrelink and that sort of thing. They're not protected by bankruptcy.
So does that mean that even after they declare bankruptcy, they still have to eventually pay that back?
Yeah.
Sure.
And the government has, on those Centrelinks, the government can actually garnish that money on its way back and all the rest of it. So, but your fines and penalties are still payable after bankruptcy.
Yeah. Damn, for all those parking fines and all those, you know, so definitely always stay on top of your fines, because if you do need to go down that route, you will eventually, you know, if people are getting, you know, tickets and things like that on their car, you unfortunately can't get out of that. But, so tell me a few things that you can, I guess, wipe the slate clean on.
Okay, so you've got your credit cards, personal loans and mortgages that are secured against property. In other words, if you don't make the payment, the creditor can repossess.
Sure.
Those loans in themselves are not protected by bankruptcy, but in the event that there is a shortfall, the item is repossessed, sold, and there's still money left over, then that shortfall is protected by bankruptcy.
Sure. Yep.
So if you want to retain a property, you need to be able to maintain the repayments.
Yeah. And I guess what would your advice be? Because, you know, COVID hasn't helped the situation by all means, with a lot of people losing their jobs and not being able to, you know, keep up with payments and all the rest. What would be your advice to people who are just kind of sitting on the fence? They're not sure. They're like, do I, don't I don't want to have a bad credit. Like, what would be your advice to people that are watching that might be umming and ahhing whether bankruptcy is actually an option? Would it be just to kind of have a chat and see what their options are? Or?
Yeah, come and have a chat. I mean, one of the biggest things is people sort of say, oh, I don't want to go bankrupt because it'll ruin my credit history. Okay, one bankruptcy record versus 13 defaults or 15 defaults on your credit rating.
Sure.
The one bankruptcy record is probably a cleaner record than
really
13
good way of
defaults.
looking at it.
So don't worry about bankruptcy as such. Come and talk to us. Get to understand what your options are. Just because you talk to us, you don't have to go bankrupt.
Of course.
But at least have the knowledge of what's going to happen, how it's going to impact. You can assess the benefits, assess the pros and cons, and then make a decision from there.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and hopefully, you know, if anyone is watching, I know it can be a bit of a scary thing, because, you know, it's had a bit of a negative, as I mentioned, connotation around that word. So being able to really speak to someone and get those options is really, really important. So if you do have any questions or do want to have a chat with somebody, definitely reach out to Bankruptcy Advisory Centre. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.